is Ravichandrika. I am from CSBS. Now I am going to explain some topics in JavaScript. JavaScript variables. Variables in JavaScript are containers for storing values. You can declare variables using three words: var, let, and const. Var is function scoped and it can be redeclared. Let and const are block scoped. That is, they are contained within a block within which they are declared. The word let lets the value of the variable to change. Const is used for variables whose value should not be reassigned. As an example, you might declare a counter in a loop with let, or you might declare a configuration object that you don't want to mutate with const. On the other hand, JavaScript is loosely typed, so you do not need to specify what type of variable a certain variable should be. It is determined during runtime. It is the flexibility that make JavaScript easier to use, but it also can lead to unexpected behavior if it's not handled properly. Now let's move on to the another topic, which is arrays in JavaScript. JavaScript has an array. It is the variable that holds more than one value at a time. Arrays are zero indexed. That means the first element in an array has an index of 0. You can store numbers, strings, even objects inside an array. Arrays are dynamic, which means you can add or delete or update elements within it. There are methods such as push, pop, shift, and unshift to change the contents of an array, and other methods like for each, map, filter to iterate over an array. Array is a built-in object in JavaScript. It is helpful to store arrays of data, manipulate collections, or pass multiple values between functions effectively. Now let's move on to the another topic, which is functions in JavaScript. Functions in JavaScript are reusable blocks of code that can accomplish specific tasks. You define a function using a function keyword followed by the name of the function, parameters, and the code block to be executed. They accept input called parameters with the possibility of returning a value. In this way, you modularize your code, meaning that you won't have pieces of big code but rather small ones, and does make it more readable and maintainable. JavaScript also support anonymous functions, arrow functions, and higher order functions which accept another functions as an argument or return others. Functions are the vital part of the JavaScript language because they enable you to encapsulate logic, reuse code, and organize your program in a clean and structured way. And now let's move on to the another topic, which is objects in JavaScript. JavaScript objects are collections of key value pairs. Keys are strings or symbols, while values can be any type. Objects are backbone of the JavaScript because absolutely anything around functions. Arrays is an object. Accessing properties. There are two ways to access the values in an object: dot notation and bracket notation. Dot notation is simply the literal name of the property separated from the other object by a dot. Bracket notation is the literal name of the property enclosed in a square brackets. Methods. Methods are functions that are stored in objects as object properties. JavaScript objects are very flexible and you can add or remove properties dynamically at any time. Objects are important for organizing and structuring data in JavaScript. They make complex entities easier to represent and their possible behaviors in your programs. And this is the last topic in our video, which is loops in JavaScript. Loops in JavaScript enables you to allow repetition in a block of code. The repetition occurs for a certain number of times or until some specific condition is met. The common types of loops include for, while, and do while. The for loop is most often used when you have an idea ahead of time of number of iterations you wish to repeat a block of code, while for while loops is used when you do not know ahead of time the number of iterations and you will continue looping until some condition become false. The do while loop guarantees that code within it will be executed at least once before testing the condition. There are many example codes for all these topics in our video. And finally, Loops reduce redundancy in your code by automating tasks that would otherwise be repetitive, such as iterating over arrays, processing data, or performing actions or collection of objects. Thank you, everyone.